I'm Justin Jarman, CEO and co-founder of Cool Factor Cryo. We are a mobile athletic recovery business. This all starts with my co-founder, Jack Stewart. He's a former pro MLS soccer player, played in the league for about 10 years. Once he retired due to injuries, just kind of worn out, he stayed in the game of soccer, and that is when he saw the opportunity to bring athletic recovery directly on site to the field. So what we've done is we have packaged in full body cryotherapy. So I'm sure some of you have heard of it. Super cold air, similar to a cold plunge, but you're not getting wet. As well as compression therapy, so your Normatec compression boots, zero gravity lounge chairs, percussive massage guns, red light therapy, all of that built into what you see up here. This is our first unit right up here to the left. It was a 26-foot trailer that has 2 cryotherapy chambers in, fans out with the Normatec and zero gravity lounge chairs. This vehicle down here to the right is our new electric-based cryotherapy. It has 2 full-body cryo chambers in there, really showcases nicely. We focus on 2 main markets. The first one being competitive youth sports. It's a huge and growing market. In fact, you'll see a slide here and a couple more that shows just how many of these competitive youth events are taking place in major sports states, which has kind of outlined our go-to-market strategy as well. And then, of course, in health and wellness, you have all of your adult amateur athletics, your marathons, corporate events, et cetera, et cetera. And you'll see there that the spa industry, so if you've heard of Restore brick and mortar or Restore Wellness brick and mortar, same modalities, it's just we've built this into a mobile sprinter vehicle. We have a really kind of unique revenue stream. We have our recurring subscriptions with a lot of the sports teams that we work with, team practices, et cetera, et cetera. But we also work on an event basis. So we're going to these events. It's conversion of service, or which is the most exciting, we basically have an experiential brand or marketing model. So we work with Adidas, Toyota. We're getting ready to work with some really large brands where they buy the vehicle out for that day or multi-day and then offer the services free of charge. There's usually some value exchange, like Adidas, for instance, asks you to download their Adidas Run app in exchange of using their free recovery services on behalf of Cool Factor. And then in terms of our franchise system, we have full training, marketing, technology, getting ready to go through an entire new rebrand. We got a great new domain rolling out, coolfactor.com. Since the uniqueness of our mobile model, we had to build some custom software for booking purposes, et cetera, et cetera. Current growth, we've got 3 vehicles in the market, and our first franchisees based in Dallas, Texas. They're actually preparing to purchase 2 new territories in the Texas area. And we also closed an area development agreement for 10 territories that is launching over the next 12 to 18 months. So that's super exciting for us, very stressful on me. The thinning hair is really thinning. And you can see this is the kind of state and growth strategy that we're going after. Overlays very nicely with heavy competitive youth sports. These are just a list of some of the event numbers that we work with. You can imagine on an experiential brand basis, which there's really some cool things that we're doing with our franchisees, whereby a big brand wants to come and buy all of those vehicles to really kind of do an always-on marketing takeover. These are some of the total investments required. We're $160,000 to $350,000. That's all in. Something within the FDDs, you'll notice, marketing purposes, they might only market the first 3 months. This is all in. We've got some minimum net worth requirements, minimum cash requirements because of the uniqueness of the business model. You can finance the chassis in the vehicle. We even can finance the cryotherapy chambers, which we've worked really hard on a joint venture
1 minute
to get that CapEx down to 50% the cost of traditional electric cryotherapy chambers in the market. So it's created a nice kind of competitive moat for us. And we do a flat royalty fee of $2,500 per month versus a percentage of gross revenue. And once again, these are some of the brands that we're working with. And it's just been super fun and exciting. We get to work with, some of their direct sponsored athletes. And it's just been a really great experience.
Awesome. Thank you so much. are there any kind of barriers since this is healthcare and sports recovery? Do people need certifications, licenses, a doctor in place?
Yeah, so all the modalities we have on board do not require any type of licensing at all.
Okay.
It's when you get into physically touching is when you need like a PT, et cetera, et cetera. We do contract. So what we're seeing with a lot of these sports tournaments, marathons, the event organizers just want us to kind of handle everything. We don't know if we really want to move into that. There's just more margin if we do. But we've partnered with IV drip therapies, a doctor, and we'll send the nurses out and then provide for that. But right now, nothing's required in terms of certification.
Was that? Oh no, go ahead. I was gonna say, does that hold true with the cryotherapy machine? Aren't there some potential liabilities there?
You can. So there's a self-administered cryotherapy test, and it's kind of multiple choice. So in the U.S., you do not need any type of certification. Canada, you do, but not in the U.S.
With your franchisees and these national partnerships you mentioned, is it their role to go out and seek those partnerships, whether it's big brands or youth sports groups, or are you guys connecting those dots for you?
Yeah, so we don't have the national partnerships quite yet, at least not with Hyperice, ECL. We're in discussions. Adidas, we're working more and more. We will get there, but that falls on the franchise. We as the franchisor, we're going and basically identifying what's called like key accounts, so that it takes the legwork out of the franchisee. And then we've got a very lucrative kind of buyout rate for the franchisee if we take over their vehicle for however many days that there's identified as part of the campaign.
Do we have an audience question?
Yeah.
Yeah, right here.
Yeah, two questions. What's the hardest part of running this business? And then what go-to-market playbook do you provide the franchisee?
Yeah, so I think just like the moving business, there is a substantial physicality to the business. You're up and down. There's a lot going on. The good thing is you typically only need 2 people to operate the business. So it is a very owner operated. The event days are what can be brutal. You're on your feet for 10 to 12 hours, but that's just also because we've been very hands-on. When we first launched our franchisees, we were out there for a month, just kind of like rolling up our sleeves, going through the motions until they had the ramp to hire on some more staff.
And the second part,
Well,
like how do you help what information do you provide your franchisees to get them started? Is there data that you share with them around like what partnerships or geographic stuff?
So what we've done is all of the competitive youth leagues typically have a regular schedule across the states that we're kind of on our go-to-market growth. So when we work with one team or event or tournament organizer, we're making sure that they're, going, and if they are in the city that our Dallas group is, for instance, or these other ADA partners, that they'll be able to use the services of Cool Factor. So there is a lot of crossover. And then on the route business, that is also where we help out from basically just ad campaign. There's huge playbooks built in our CRM of all of the outreach, et cetera, of how you go about working with more brand related stuff.
Cool. And then obviously during networking there'll be room to connect more, but we
Absolutely.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.